I thought I was infertile, but now I'm pregnant and it's not my husband's.
That's got to be awkward. Like, honey, I'm home with someone else's baby. Oops.
Oops, I did it again. I'm pregnant by my friend after a one-night stand.
Ouch. That's how you start a story.
We're both still reeling after our partners cheated on us with each other. Oh, so they did a little swap-a-rooney.
They did a switcheroo.
Okay, so this is a doozy. Please bear with me. I'm trying to make sense of this myself. My ex-husband, 36 male, and I, 38 female, were friends with another couple, Larry, fake name, 36 male, and Kate, fake name, 36 female.
Oh.
Recently, Larry and I started to work jobs that require us to be away from home on evenings. My ex and Kate started to hang out when we couldn't be there. Dinners, taking the dogs out for walks, shows, etc.
Not the dogs.
Larry and I were relieved that they were getting along and keeping each other from being lonely. But you know what happens next.
Oh.
Going to Pound Town.
Oh, God.
Kate and my ex announced during what was a nice dinner at their house that they had fallen in love and wanted a divorce.
Oh, God.
Oh. The fallout was awful. Larry kicked Kate out. I kicked my ex out, and they both got somewhere to live together. I was inconsolable, catatonic at most times, and only therapy and my family support got me through. I filed for divorce before my ex could, and that is now underway. Larry and I clung to each other a bit, as the other knew what the other felt and vice versa.
True.
Since I live close to work and he is working remotely, he basically moved into the guest bedroom, going to his flat only for a few things and watering the plants. He's planning on selling it and having it surveyed. We had a very platonic relationship, and even though I'm older, he felt like my big brother even before this mess. Anyways, Valentine's Day rolls around.
Oh, no.
And we decided to get pissed and commiserate.
Hey.
He showed me a necklace he had brought for Kate for their anniversary. It's a custom design and took a couple months to be completed. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
And I told him so. He said he forgot about it until he got the email saying it was dispatched a month ago. He can't force himself to get rid of it, and I understood. I still have my wedding rings in the drawer. I don't know who made the first move, but it happened and we slept together that night.
Oh, no.
We couldn't look at each other the next morning, and he moved back to his flat. I was sad and locked myself away again, hating myself for letting it get so far. We didn't talk or text for a couple of weeks. I thought I lost a really good friend and gained a good lover.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yo.
Oh, Larry.
No, that's actually a little sad. He came around one night with dinner and flowers, asking for forgiveness that it happened.
I mean, a little bit of a romantic apology, if you ask me.
Romantic gesture. And then there were like rose petals to the bed.
Oh, God.
So that way he could apologize there too. He blamed himself, and I told him it was both our mistake. We both decided to forget about it and carry on. He came around often again, but never staying the night. Okay, so they didn't hook up again. Smart. 3 weeks ago, I started to feel dizzy and nauseous at work. I thought it had something to do with my new medication. So I set up an appointment with my doctor. Long story short, I'm pregnant.
Come on. Come on, guys.
After one night.
Larry's shooting.
Larry
pulled up with a full clip of him of that night.
This motherfucker don't miss.
So here I am, scared and anxious to tell Larry.
Yeah.
I want to keep the baby as I have always wanted to be a mother, but I don't want to lose him if I do. We've just gotten our equilibrium back.
Mess.
That's so messy. John, what would you do if you were pregnant with Larry's baby?
Man.
Also, while John's thinking, please let us know in the comments what you would do. There is an update, so stick around. But John, what would you do?
I guess you roll with the punches, man. You know, you're about to be 40. You know, this is someone who you've known for your
for a bit.
For a bit.
Yeah.
I guess you just got to roll with it, dude.
So you got to tell Larry, or you could stay toxic and not tell Larry and just say, oh, I got like in vitro
sperm donor.
Yeah.
You know, he just happens to look like you, Larry.
Yeah. Larry. First off, thank you so much for the advice and the replies. I read them all, even the ones that were denouncing me for baby trapping Larry. To be clear, me and my ex wanted children and started to try when I hit 30. Issues on both sides made it clear we can't have any naturally, so we saved up for a few rounds of IVF before discussing adopting. I do have a good, stable job, and with the money I saved, even if half of it goes to the ex after the divorce, I will be set up for a while.
Wow. I mean, that's a bag right there.
That's a bag. My mother has been over the moon about the new grandbaby and has made plans to retire and help me should I find myself a single mother.
I mean, that's solid.
Anyway, a couple days after I posted, I invited Larry for dinner. I declined alcohol, which had his eyebrow raising. But I don't drink if I'm working the next day, and so he knows this. I told him after dessert, after it was nice and full, and yes, he was stunned.
I can imagine.
I'm on birth control, but birth control fails too. I told him straight up, I don't expect anything from him, but he should know as it was his child too. I wanted to keep the bean and he can be involved or not as much as he wants to. He was quite concerned about my health, and besides a bit of sickness and dizziness here and there, I'm mainly all right. He nods and tells me he needs to go home and think. I agree and told him to call me whenever he feels ready.
Okay.
3 days later, the story's not done.
No, it ain't.
He tells me he's coming over and he brings a couple of suitcases with him. He declares he's moving in and helping with the pregnancy, baby and all.
Big Larry stepping up to the plate.
That's actually like, that's a great move.
That is an all-time good dude move right there.
Dude, Larry.
Big
What a
Larry.
guy. I laughed until I was crying, but I will admit it, I was relieved and joyed to know that the father wants to be involved.
Yeah.
We've sat down, hashed a lot of boundaries, agreements, and expectations of the whole thing. So they're not just, I would love for the happily ever after to be like, and we got married.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think, John?
Maybe if you
would you marry Larry?
Is that what I mean?
There's a little bit more.
I would date Larry.
You would date?
For sure.
I think they should date.
For sure.
We're going to a lawyer so we can settle the contract. I am confident he wants best for the bean and I. Like she calls it the bean.
Yeah, it's funny.
He offered to buy the ex's half of the house so we could all stay here. I have no romantic expectations of him, and I suspect he feels the same. I get more hugs and forehead kisses though, which is nice. And it's lovely to have someone rub your back and pull your hair away when you're sick. We get to go together on my next appointment with the doctor. Too early to say the gender.
I mean, it seems like relationship type activities.
It's just such an intimate thing to prepare to have a child. I can't imagine them not getting down and dirty a couple more times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But John, I heard you got another story for me.
My boyfriend inherited property and went crazy. He chose a shovel over me, and you won't believe what he's doing with it.
Yo, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
I know this is a weird question, but my boyfriend likes to spend a lot of his free time digging a tunnel on some property that he inherited.
Digging a tunnel?
Digging a tunnel.
Low key though, that sounds like my 10-year-old on the beach dream, right? Where it's I don't know if you've ever dug a hole at the beach. There's no better pleasure than just digging deep holes with your bows.
It's the most oddly satisfying,
Literally, when I was in kindergarten, every day I would say with my friends, we're going to dig to China. We never did, but we kept digging every day.
The persistence and just the imagination and dreams of these children are incredible.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. The system was against me, man.
Really, the odds were stacked
They
against
kept filling
you.
up my hole every day.
Now, I haven't seen the full extent of it, but last I saw, it was remarkably deep under the surface. God, he went deeper on that hole than he did with me. The front of the thing is deep, wide, and well put together.
I feel like you're describing
Yeah, this is a metaphor.
This is a metaphor. Yeah. Just like this poppin' pussy. Deep, wide, and well put together.
At the front of the hole, which is the only part I've ever seen, he's got cement beams, electrical lights, even chairs, and a small table.
Wow, this hole is big.
This is an architectural, just masterpiece right here.
Is there a reason for this hole?
We have to find out. I haven't gotten into it, but it looked like the quality severely dropped as the tunnel went further, mostly becoming open dirt with some wood beams holding it up. My biggest concern is his safety. I'm really worried that he's gonna dig too deep and it'll collapse on him or something. I've tried voicing this concern to him, but he just laughs it off and assures me that he'll be fine. Big Daddy's gonna build the big hole. Aside from safety concerns, there's also the fact that he really doesn't have a social life because of the hole. It's all consuming.
Everything must go to the hole.
It's hole or nothing. I'm pretty much the only person he still talks to outside of his job, and he doesn't want to go out or do anything anymore. My God. It used to be that he'd occasionally head out and do some digging on the weekends here and there, but now he spends almost all of his free time in there.
Man cave.
He took man man cave and just brought it to a whole nother like
Whole
dimension.
other level.
Oh my God. I mean, what else could possibly be it?
I feel like he's going through something. This is the weirdest midlife crisis ever.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
he's not like explaining why. Like, we have no idea other than he wants to do it, which is a poor explanation. He still comes home, but he barely spends any time with me. He's always really happy when he comes back from digging, which is why I haven't seriously tried to stop him before. But I was talking to a friend about him, and she told me he might be going crazy. Obviously, I don't think he's insane, but I hadn't considered the mental health aspect of this, and I just don't know what to do. Sam, we're going to take a pit stop in the digging through this story. What do you think so far?
I just
before
want to
we
know
dig to
why
the
he's
end?
digging the hole. Is it purely pleasure? Like, you know how like people will like, okay, you know, like I'm creating the garden, right? You know, and I'm digging in the garden and there's going to be a garden, right? Like to an end where you're,
Something comes to fruition. Like, I want to see it from seed to like strawberry bush.
is there like an end goal?
Well, you could garden forever, but you could argue like a strawberry plant like ripens and gives the berries. Like, you've reached the end of that like things cycle. You could just by yourself dig for your entire life until you die and you just lay down and your grave is already pre-dug.
Maybe he kind of likes that. Maybe he just likes the simplicity of like, I wake up, I dig, I go to sleep, and then I dig more. And like every day I'm making more progress.
Then maybe I don't know what the like term for it would be, but there's like a fixation on something that like gives you that, you know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, I have this thing that I know I can wake up and do, and I can just continue progressing forever. It'll never end in a good way.
Now I kind of want to go dig a hole.
But Sam, put down the shovel. We need to pick it back up because we need to dig to the bottom of this story here. Okay. All right. So I've spoken with my boyfriend where we might get some answers. And after a good long chat, I can successfully say mission accomplished.
Okay, what the mission accomplished?
I sat him down when he came home Thursday and seriously voiced my concerns, both about his safety and about our relationship. He hadn't realized how big of an effect this had been on me in regards to our relationship, and he immediately said that he was going to cut the time he spent down there in half. Oh man, I feel like that's a huge win for OP, but it's like you're gonna spend half the time digging the hole. Like we need to know why.
I just love how much he loves this. Like, I'm really happy for this guy. You know, like some people like to play video games. Some people like to cheat on their wives. He likes to dig holes.
There's something problematic about everything. What gets bad about digging a hole?
Reminds me of that. Remember when Cards Against Humanity raised a bunch of money to just dig a hole in the ground, and they poured like $1 million to dig the biggest hole they could.
Not to totally side tangent, but I just have to throw it out there real quick. Where does the dirt go? I mean, he's literally dug a hole so big that he can build a cement and wood beam structure in it. I mean, all of that dirt would totally fill up your backyard.
How wide is the hole?
I mean, they said wood beams and concrete. That leads me to believe he at least can like walk in it. He said that we could spend the entire weekend together, and we pretty much did. Friday night, we spent at home. We went out for a nice dinner Saturday night after spending the day together. We were able to have a nice lazy Sunday together, but I could tell that he was getting kind of antsy and almost nervous after church today. So I told him that he could go ahead and go to his tunnel early if he wanted to. I won't lie, I was kind of hoping that he would stay at home, but he decided to go back out, which is all right with me. I also talked to him about my concerns regarding gases that y'all made me realize I should be conscious of. My God, I guess there's
gas
some,
in like natural gas,
methane and other. And he said that he'd work to get some sort of ventilation system installed ASAP.
Is he like making like a bunker or something?
I mean,
why is he making the hole?
He said that he'd even dig with his dad's old gas mask if it made me feel better. The only thing that I didn't bring up was us maybe going to therapy about it.
Therapy about the hole?
Like, I feel like this is like the plot to like a Netflix like series, like
It
The
feels
Hole.
it feels like the beginning of like a horror like TV show.
And he's like been commissioned by like evil mole people to like build the bridge to the outer world to wreak havoc.
Or like he knows something about like there's like a nuclear explosion gonna happen and he's building a bunker and he's like, man, I need to get rid of my wife somehow, but I can't confront her, and so he's just gonna get in the bunker himself.
So someone told him like, I'm gonna tell you how to protect yourself, but you literally cannot tell another living soul, otherwise I will find you and end you. I mainly said because he said that he would cut back time and I didn't want to push the issue too far. I think that he could maybe benefit from the therapy. He's of the opinion that you only go to therapy if there's something wrong with you, and I don't want him to think that I'm saying there's something wrong with him, which...
Yo, what are you talking about? Man just loves his whole time. He loves the mines.
So all in all, maybe I should have brought that up, but I'm definitely happy how things turned out. So thanks to everyone that gave me some advice. Also, a lot of people were asking why he tunnels.
Why the hole?
And while I've asked him before, I asked again, and this was his answer. It's just pleasant. When I'm down there, I feel safe and calm, and I'm always happier when I leave than when I went in.
Dude, the hole provides. I want to go to the beach and dig a hole.
I want him to go to therapy and talk with someone about why it's so therapeutic. Like, I want to know on the deeper level.
It's like, like why do we go in caves when we were cavemen? Because the holes provide.
Holes provide, bro. I mean, I think that was more of a necessity.
Yeah, but like he's like channeling his ancient caveman brain.
Exactly. He's like, oh, like I have this primal need to be in the hole, and I will satisfy
I
that.
don't think this hobby is, there are people that spend hours and hours like playing Minecraft. He's playing real life Minecraft. There are people that spend like hours and hours, like, I don't know, playing like hockey or motorcycle riding or whatever a hobby it might be. Man has his whole hobby. Give a man a whole hobby.
I hear you. We'll ask everyone what do you all think?
Are you pro hole or anti hole?
Is he the a-hole?
Let me know if you're pro hole or anti hole. But I have a whole other story for you, John.
Dig it up for me, daddy.
I'm cheating on my boyfriend in my dreams.
Very naughty.
Naughty.
But also not naughty. This is, you know what this is? This is the Diet Coke of cheating.
It's the gateway drug of cheating. So this actually comes from our subreddit, r/OKOP show.
Hey.
You have a story submitted there. And it comes from Marlenell H.
Nice.
Marlenell H. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but thank you for your submission. I, 19 female, have been with my boyfriend, 20 male, for about a year and a half now. We've hit a rough patch lately. Constant arguing, although we're both exhausted of it. And it keeps lingering in my head that maybe it's not to be. That's tough. You're young though. There could be more, or this could be it. I'm holding off on ending things because we've been in love since middle school. Dang, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And we're only kept apart because of distance. But also we dated long distance a couple times through high school. Oh, so you guys have been like off and on for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got together as soon as he moved back, and we moved in together 3 months after. I guess that's not fast because we've known each other since middle school, so it's not that crazy. We've been through hell this past year, but I wouldn't have done it with anyone else in our past experiences. I feel like we've both grown to be perfect for each other, and I couldn't imagine leaving the life we've built in that year to start over. Okay, so are you holding off are you holding off on ending things, or are you perfect to each other? Choose a side, OP. It sounds like you really, you might have something special. The problem, however, started about 2 days ago. We had a bad day and slept early, still cuddled up. I never like sleeping mad. So I wake up 10 a.m. It's my day off. I let him sleep in as usual. And I drove to Target for hair bleach that I've been needing, but did some window shopping too. I bumped into this guy from high school. Oh. And we caught up with each other's lives. And I had such a good time talking to him. I didn't notice how long we'd been standing around. His girlfriend was staring at us from a little further down the aisle, but I hadn't seen her until he cleared his throat and she walked up to us. Felt bad and introduced myself, letting her know our history, quote unquote. Oh. So she doesn't feel intimidated. And she introduced herself as his girlfriend before taking him by his hand, saying they had to go. Everything is super awkward. I grab my bleach and head towards the self-checkout. I hear something fall and turn around to see her and her friend laughing while cleaning up a stand they just dropped. I laugh to myself and keep walking, but the guy catches up to me and says he'll walk me out. Yeah, I'm just like ditching his girlfriend.
See ya, babes.
I asked about his girlfriend, which I would ask too, and he says they met up there. He doesn't like her friend and the mom's somewhere. She'll be fine. I offer him a ride because he got here on Uber.
Ooh.
And he runs towards my car, taking the driver's seat because too bad I left my car unlocked and now it's stolen. I guess they're engaging in some playful banter right now. Like, haha, I stole your car.
Interesting.
I hand him the keys and he starts driving driving out of Target, past my city, past a smaller city. And finally, I ask if he knows where he's going. He says, honestly, no. He got caught up in our conversation and didn't want to stop and ask for directions. Figuring he'd see something familiar at some point. I asked for his address and he jokes about it being dangerous for me to have it. I jokingly threatened to kill him in his sleep, and he finally gives me his address. But talked too fast. And when I looked up to ask him to repeat it again, he looked serious and went quiet.
Oh my God.
We were very lost at this point, and there were people around carrying guns just in front of their houses and staring at us.
Oh.
He keeps driving to get out of the area, instead driving deeper into it. We decided to just park to figure out where we're going. We sit around for an hour talking. We move to the back seat to talk without being seen.
Oh.
We kiss. I feel like I've been gone for hours and start panicking about my boyfriend looking at my location. These people begin lighting a fire maybe 50 feet away from us in a public street and throwing corpses on it.
Not the corpses.
I look at him. We're both terrified. So I start looking up his address again, and we get back in the front, driving away with his hand on my knee. I wake up being held by my boyfriend and was honestly a little sad that none of it was real. I took that day and the next to get over the weirdness of it, but I wasn't going to tell my boyfriend anything. I know it would hurt him, just like it would hurt me if it was the other way around. Last night, I fell asleep not thinking of it and woke up this morning with a very vague memory of another dream involving him. We were just parked in the rain, playing some rock song, and we were both singing and joking around. I like how she has this like person that she's in this relationship with in her dreams. I feel extremely guilty, but I don't know what to do about this either. I love my boyfriend. I don't even know this guy enough to be dreaming of him like that. I'm not really looking for help. I just need to tell someone without sounding like a horrible girlfriend. So, John.
Oh.
All right. I want to hear from the audience.
Yeah.
What do you think? This is one of her own. This is the OK Gang.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what do you think about OP's dirty dreams and what she should do about it? And while you're putting that in the comments, John, what do you think?
So I'm not a subscriber that dreams like always mean something. You know what I mean? Like they can mean like your subconscious trying to tell you something. Other times I think your brain is just braining and just things pop up.
Your brain's just brain.
You know, I mean, it is weird. I think one-off dream, like not a big deal. But if it keeps happening over and over, maybe it is something like in your subconscious that you're like, just listening to the beginning of a story, it seemed like kind of pretty abrupt kind of flip-flops of like, it seemed like we were bad, but then we were like, I can't imagine my life without him.
Like, I feel, the biggest thing that stood out to me is like, I feel like you feel uncertain of where your relationship stands with your boyfriend. And maybe that is causing you to think about like other possibilities in dreamland. Not to like psychoanalyze too much.
You know, I don't think you're the a-hole necessarily.
No,
like
so
it's like, again, like you can't really control your dreams. And again, if it happens once, twice, maybe like if you have a few weeks where it happens a few times and then it goes away and then you're like, you feel stable in your relationship. I mean, I don't see too much reason to look into it, but I think maybe if it happens a lot over and over, that probably might mean something. My fiance didn't want to watch our dog, so she let him get away and now he's lost. I'm furious at her. Am I the a-hole?
Furious for someone losing your dog? No.
So not the a-hole then.
Not the a-hole. That's my prediction.
Let's get into it. So my fiance, 28 female, is currently 5 months pregnant and has been both fatigued and nauseous lately. I get why she didn't want to help me look for the dog, but I can't get over the lack of empathy and borderline selfish behavior of this either. My dog, 6-year-old healer / corgi mix, runs off at least once a week. Good God.
You need better fences, my guy.
Need something training. I don't know. Usually my fiance will help me find her, but it's not without protest. I honestly didn't even know how she was getting out of our fenced yard, so I installed cameras and found out that she was scaling the 8-foot fence. That is crazy.
Put your dog in like the police force or something. That is a dog with skills.
Those hops to use. I ended up attaching spinners to the top of the fence, thinking that would solve the issue, but it didn't. I guess that's some sort of like
thing where like it spins and you can't grab on.
It stops the dog from getting over it. I brought her out today and was playing with her when my phone rang. I was inside just long enough to grab my phone and my dog had gotten out.
Already?
Bro, this dog is done. I immediately went and searched for her, thinking she couldn't have gotten far, but I couldn't find her anywhere. So I went back to the house and asked my fiance, who was curled up on the sofa, to come help me.
Yo, the fiance is like, not fucking again.
Let's get a new dog that doesn't run away every 5 seconds. How about that? After I asked her to help, my fiance immediately immediately said, no, not doing it. She said she was tired of chasing the dog and that she isn't dealing with it anymore and that I should have been out there watching her. I explained to her that I had been watching her and simply stepped away for 0.2 seconds to grab my phone just inside the sliding door, and she had escaped. Just 0.2 seconds enough for the dog to escape. She again said it wasn't her problem and she's not exhausting herself anymore to search for my dog. I won't even say it was unexpected because, as I said, in the past, she has always had a problem with helping me search, but she's never said no. She just complained about it. At first, I went in and searched myself. After maybe half an hour, I came back and asked her again to come help, and she snapped, I said no. I am so tired of chasing that dog around multiple times a week when I'm already exhausted and throwing up constantly.
Fair.
I panicked and unleashed some yelling, which involved me telling her she was such a bee who lacked empathy and that I was thoroughly disappointed with my decision to be with someone so heartless.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You might have said some things that are going to be hard to come back from.
It was out of pure fear and panic on my part, and I did apologize later after I found my
Thank
dog.
God.
But she said, go F yourself.
Which I believe is the appropriate response.
Yeah. And now she won't talk to me. Am I the a-hole? Everyone is on my side except my sister, who says I'm an effing prick because it's not my pregnant fiance's responsibility to, quote, chase around your effing mutt, unquote. And she said that she would have left immediately if her boyfriend ever said what I did to her.
Oh, God. Okay. So originally, I thought this was going to be a clear cut. OP is not the a-hole. I don't know. Like, OP needs some like new friends because they're all just like yes manning him. Your friends are biased as fuck. You're like, first of all, you need to get a better fence, practical advice.
Yeah.
Second, I understand. Oh, I lost my dog. Can you help me find?
Yeah.
Once, maybe twice.
Maybe twice.
Weekly, and your wife's pregnant? Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna make your pregnant, is it girlfriend, wife, fiance?
Fiance.
You're gonna make your pregnant fiance go run around and chase some dumb dog. Like, one, you could probably do that yourself, and two, it's your fault for losing this dog all the time. In conclusion, you need a new fence, you need new friends, you need to treat your wife with some goddamn respect, and also the most a-holy move of all is yelling at your wife, telling her she's an inconsiderate bitch when you are the inconsiderate bitch.
Literally, like, look in a mirror, my friend. Yeah, I kind of 100% agree with your breakdown. It's just so insane to me that like a responsible pet owner is like, you take care of the pet and it's like, okay, you realize that your dog always wants to run out. You need to fix the fencing. You need to go to a trainer. Cause like, I think maybe the dog is just
Get like an electric fence for like a shock collar
literally
or something.
like anything to like, okay, yeah, he like installed cameras and put a spinner on the fence. Cool. But then it didn't work. So now you have to do the next thing. It seems pretty clear that's OP's dog, not like theirs or hers or whatever. So it's like
your responsibility. But you know what you should all get a grip on?
Ooh.
r/OKOP show. Go on our subreddit, submit your own stories. We love reading them. We read the top story every week, put it on here. So please go over there. We love you guys more than words can even say. So your comments and likes mean the world to us, and we miss you, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Love ya.